Hello, Jefferson Forest High School. As you know, I am Samuel Gillespie,
And I'm Burke Bankston.
and today is a good day.
Agreed.
And that's because it is Friday and it is also Election Day. So if you haven't voted yet, please go out and be a part of the student body and vote for your overall presidents and your class presidents. Or not presidents, but...
And any other position that has competition. You know, today's Friday the 13th.
I know.
I didn't even
Scary
know that.
day. It is a scary day.
I woke up this morning, I was like, ooh, that's probably not good.
All right. So this, speaking of school leaders and about this school, we have an important member of the administration with us here today. I know we have talked this one up on our Instagram and our podcast before this one, but you all know his name. He's kind of a bigwig. And everyone that's listening, we have the Mr. Wilson.
Woo.
Mr. Wilson,
Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Glad to be here.
how are you doing today?
Oh, doing great. Every
That's
day at
awesome.
school's a good day.
Oh.
So we want to know a little bit about yourself. I know that's a broad question, but
Yeah,
if you
sure.
could just go over like a little bit about Mr. Wilson.
Who you are, where you came from, any of that.
Yeah, so just depends on how far we want to go back, right? I actually grew up local. I grew up in the Rustburg area. I've had a lot to do with different schools in the area. Professionally, I went to Radford and I went to Liberty University and started my teaching career actually about 18 years ago. I've been in 7 different schools in 18 years. I've taught in elementary, I've taught in middle, I've taught in high school. I've coached kids ages 4 to 18. I've been fortunate enough to win some state championships and also be on some teams that part of teams that didn't win a lot of games, so a lot of feast and famine. I worked at Amherst County for 5 years and Campbell County for 5 years, and this is my 9th year in Bedford County and my 3rd year at Jefferson Forest High School. And I've worked in several different places, a lot of different people, and JF's a great place. And I'm happy to be here and hope to be here for a while. So.
You have not only been like a part of administration, you've been teaching also.
Yeah, I taught for 10 years before I got into administration and coached. I coached varsity basketball, football, track and field, a little bit of soccer. Before I got into administration, I coached 3 or 4 sports every year for 10
That's
years.
awesome.
Wow.
Ran youth camps. So anything dealing with athletics and young people, I probably had some exposure doing it. And then actually when I had my first son, I traded in my whistle for a tie and went a different route and spent a little more time at home and be around my family. So
That's awesome.
What did you teach?
I taught health and PE.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you a little story. So I was looking for a major. I started off wanting to be in law enforcement, actually.
Wow.
I wasn't one of those guys that grew up all my life wanting to be a teacher, but I always wanted to work with people. And when I really started thinking about where I could have real life discussions about what's going on and really mentor young people, it was in the health curriculum. And so I got into teaching health and PE because I saw it as a mentorship, a way to give back. And then the coaching kind of came after. It was secondary, which is a little different
awesome.
for some people. But material-wise, I figured if I could talk with and give back knowledge about life, that was as important a subject as anything I could teach. And so I chose to be a health and PE teacher, and I did that for 10 years at several different locations and a lot of great experiences.
That's awesome.
So.
And before Jefferson Forest, you were an administration at an elementary school, right?
So I was at Thomas Jefferson. I was the head principal at Thomas Jefferson. I was an assistant principal at Liberty High School for a couple of years, and I was an assistant principal at Bedford Middle School for a couple of years. And prior to that, all teaching experiences in Campbell County and Amherst County.
So what do you think brought you to JF?
Opportunity. When the opportunity came around, I've been fortunate enough. I think people kind of choose their happiness, right? So, but I've been fortunate enough. Everywhere I've been, I've enjoyed my job. I've never worked in a school I didn't like. You make the best of your opportunities. But I was at Thomas Jefferson. I was enjoying being the principal there. A lot of great people there. Then Jefferson Forest came available. I've always liked high school. I've always liked high school extracurriculars. And JF's a great place. So if you're going to go be a part of another team, you want to pick a winning team, and JF's a winning team. You know, a lot of great teachers, students here, community. It's a great fit, and I think it's the best job in Bedford County. So if the best job in Bedford County becomes available, and you can apply for it, you apply for it.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Absolutely.
So what do you think? What do you think's different about like being in administration at an elementary school versus a high school? I mean, like, what are the like significant differences?
So there's some big differences, right? At the elementary school, every morning it's high fives and leg hugs, and everybody's happy to be there. Elementary school is the happiest place on earth. However, you know, real conversations, tough to come by with 5, 6, 8-year-olds. Right. And so you have an impact in elementary. The foundations that are built in elementary are key to everybody's success. You learn to read, write. It really encourages a passion for learning and education. It's awesome. And if you have a great elementary experience, your likelihood to be successful in secondary and beyond is extraordinary. You know, I think we can show there's a lot of data that says if you're reading at or above a grade level in 3rd grade, your likelihood to graduate is 100 times more than somebody that's not, right? So building those deficits. So elementary is great. What high school has that is more attractive of a job to me is things like this. You get to have real conversations with young people. Every school I've been in, I've been part of some type of leadership or mentoring where I want to empower the young people to take ownership of their school and be the leaders in the school. And I think being able to be a part of that, and seeing young people that are becoming young adults and working toward life is exciting, you know, to kind of be a part of. And so you get the educational excitement in elementary school, and high fives and hugs, and it's all love.
Yeah.
And everybody's not high fiving and hugging every day coming to high school, but
Not at all.
but although they should be, I tell you, this is great. All your friends are here. Lunch is cheap. You know, I mean, what free education? What more do you want?
Yeah,
I mean, really. But it is. It's exciting to see young people grow and develop, and my experiences here have been very different. You know, we had COVID for the last little bit, like a couple days, to deal with, but I'm impressed every year with the caliber of young people that go to school here at Jefferson Forest, and the leadership qualities you guys already have, taking on and creating stuff like your podcast, like taking initiative and being what you want to be. So that's exciting to see.
That is awesome to hear. And a little bit of a gear shift. Burke has a question.
Yep. Yeah. I just want to know, like, morning to night, what an average day looks like for you. So what you do at school, and just take us through a day.
So it depends on the day. You know, I have 3 children.
Right.
They are 10, 8, and 4. And my daughter is 4, you know, runs the house for everybody. So that's exciting. So when I wake up in the morning, if I do what I'm supposed to do, I catch some kind of workout, and you know, I help get my kids ready. I take all my kids to school every morning. 2 of them go to Thomas Jefferson. 1 of them goes to a daycare, and I come to school. I get here between 7:30 and 8. I usually have 150 emails to kind of look through, and start to work through that process. There's usually people that want to talk and have some conversations and questions, so I have meetings throughout the day with those individuals, do classroom observations, go see teachers, work with kids as needed. The day kind of goes by. Every day's different. Every day's different in administration. Sometimes you have to deal with situations with behavior, but most days it's dealing with managing time and attending meetings and moving toward developing programs to get there. So the school day is different every day. But then after, I'm currently taking some classes for my doctorate. So there are some days where I leave here and I go to University of Lynchburg from 4:30 to 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
And I do my homework and the classes are there. Other days, so that's Monday. On a Tuesday, I may be here and cover a sports event. I coach a couple rec league things. I coach basketball in the winter for both my kids. I coach football. I'm coaching flag football right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. on Thursdays and Sundays. And so between rec sports, high school sports, school in the evenings, and on a regular day though, if I leave here, I get home about 6 o'clock, and I do the dad thing. You know, I do dinner, bath, bed with my kids, and they go to bed, and I talk to my wife for like an hour, and look at some emails and go to sleep. So
That's awesome.
great adult life. You know, you guys are so
Busy.
yeah.
So speaking of like sports and how you're obviously like coaching and stuff, we want to know a little bit about like what did you play in high school? And
So I played basketball, football. I played baseball my whole life until people started throwing curveballs, and I struck out a lot, so I quit playing that. But all great sports. In my senior year, actually, I played soccer.
oh wow, that's awesome.
So, you know, soccer wasn't as big where I grew up, but I had several friends that played in the spring of my senior year. I was like, I'm gonna play. I played goalie. I actually I enjoyed it.
That's
fun.
awesome.
So played a lot of different sports. I won't lie to you and tell you I was good enough to play in college, because I wasn't.
That's
It's
all
one of those one of those realities you come to. It's kind of,
Right.
but high school thoroughly enjoyed it, and coaching beyond. A lot of good experiences in athletics.
And hey, it brought you here.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Yeah, it all ends well.
You said something about being in law enforcement, but if you were to pick another career, would it be law enforcement, or would you even pick another career? Is this?
You know, at this point, like I've thought about that in different times, and there's nothing else I'd rather do.
That's awesome.
You know, I started off my first ever job, and this will be something very, very few people will know. My first ever job was actually a short order cook at Waffle House. Right, I started work when I started work when I was probably 14. I worked with my uncle nights and weekends doing cabinetry, carpentry, manual labor kind of stuff. My first job working for somebody that wasn't family was at Waffle House. I worked there for
That's awesome.
about a year and a half.
Love me some good waffle.
I know. I love Waffle
Yeah.
House.
And then, you know, through college, I worked nights and weekends to pay for my college, doing cabinetry and carpentry and different things. So I had a lot, and that was probably till I was like 30. I'd work summers, nights, and weekends. I've always had another job until I got into administration. And so point for saying all that is I've done a lot of different things, and I chose the career I'm in because I love what I do. And I can't imagine doing anything else.
Oh,
I know I got a lot of friends that are in corporate worlds, and some that are, you know, have really cool jobs, and some that are nuclear scientists or whatever they do. Like, they can have it.
It's their thing,
Yeah. I get to work with people
Right.
and work with young people, and I don't really want to do anything else.
All right, and then we kind of have like a wrap-up question.
I do have another one.
Oh, go for it.
So you love sports. You didn't grow up in the best place for like professional sports. What were some of your athletes that you looked up to, sports teams,
Good question.
things like that?
Oh, man. You know, so basketball, I was blessed because I grew up liking the Lakers. I mean, Magic Johnson was with the Lakers. It was a Lake show. It was run and gun. It was exciting. You know, NBA basketball. It's back when the NBA was good basketball and people played defense. But on the other side of sports, for whatever reason, you know, when I was 9 or 10, Cincinnati Bengals were good in football, and they haven't been good since. So I kind of got a bum rap in the NFL.
Right.
I was a Mets fan because of Darryl Strawberry and Dwight Gooden. Neither one of those were great role models, but they were exciting players to watch at the time. So, you know, those guys, and later on, I really got more toward, you know, college sports. I think, you know, a lot of people aren't Duke fans, but I like Duke.
Oh.
Me and Burke are UNC.
You're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Well, you got to appreciate Coach K. And
That's
I think
true.
that was what it was, just good basketball. And for a long time, Duke kept their kids around. You know,
Right.
they had teams that weren't one and done, and now they are, and everybody's kind of the same. But
Right.
so those were some teams I got into, really more basketball, and outside of that, college football has always been one of my favorite things to watch. But I never really picked a favorite team. I just like watching good college football, you know.
Inspirations.
So,
yeah.
All right. So, you have any more?
I'm all good.
All right.
Ready
So
for
for our kind of like a wrap-up question, so you've obviously experienced a lot in your life. You've been through many jobs. You've been through many sports. You've been coaching and been in leadership roles, what is one thing that you can give to the people listening, some advice or some message that you can give to everyone listening that helps them grow?
Sure. I think, what I've learned, and I can't say I was always the best at it growing younger, because maybe it's tougher, is the simplest way to success is doing what you're supposed to do every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little things that make a difference. It's not the big shows. It's what you do when nobody's watching. It's whether you wake up at 5 a.m. and run because you said you're going to. The strength of who you are is in your routine. If you develop a routine that's positive, you do the things you're supposed to do every day, you're going to be successful. And it may not end where you think it's going to end, but it's going to end in a good place.
Yeah.
And that's tough sometimes when you have to choose between what you want to do and what you're supposed to do. But everybody has a good sense of what they should do, and if you do what you should do every day, you're going to end up in a good place, and you're going to be a successful person.
All right, that's some good advice right there.
Agreed. That was awesome.
All right, we can say bye-bye to everyone listening.
Yeah, and a major thank you to Mr.
Yeah,
Wilson.
thank you so much, Mr.
coming
Wilson.
down here and giving the time out of his day.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Glad to be here, and welcome to come back anytime if you guys want to talk about other stuff or people want to have questions.
All right.
Happy to do it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, have a
Thank you
great
so
We'll
Friday.
see you guys.
See you.